Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, Aliana, we can start.
We are already live on Facebook now, Bhante.
Okay,
Thank you.
please go ahead.
Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mita, Namo Buddhaya and Sukhi Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Ti-Ratana Vihara Friday Sutta discussion by Bhante Dr. Ganggodavila Chandima. Tonight's class is the day 146 of Sutta discussion class, the 8th class of Dīghajāṇu Sutta with topic the accomplishment in giving and giving up or cāga-sampadā. Dīghajāṇu Sutta is the 14th sutta that has been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. In previous classes, Bhante has discussed about Mangala Sutta, Ratana Sutta, Metta Sutta, Sigalawada Sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Sabasava Sutta, Patakama Sutta, Patama Samajivi Sutta, Alawaka Sutta, Dajaga Sutta, Girimananda Sutta, Chulakama Vibhanga Sutta, and Chunda Sutta, which Bhante has elaborated those sutta in depth. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapardana YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous classes there. We are always welcoming newcomers, therefore, please share around about this class with other friends and family members so that whoever that wish to join the class via Zoom, where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact the Vihara through Ti-Ratana Vihara WhatsApp. Or you can join the class from Ti-Ratana Vihara Facebook channel, where we broadcast the Sutta class live on every Friday evening from 8:30 till 10 p.m. Kuala Lumpur time. Now let me introduce to you about our speaker, Bhante Dr. Ganggodavila Chandima, who is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, or JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University in Thailand. Bhante was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, at University of Victoria, Canada. Bhante Dr. Chandima was also a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, from year 2012 till 2016. Recently, Bhante Chandima has joined Ateneo de Manila University in Philippines as Assistant Professor of Buddhist Philosophy. Bhante is also the Senior Advisor to Patisota, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussions, Dhamma talks, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma works can be accessed at www.patisotablogspot.com, and we also can follow Bhante at Patisota Facebook account. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante, and as always, thank you very much for the wonderful guidance and teaching. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana, for the introduction. Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back. Today you are joining Friday T-Ratana Sutta discussion for day 145. And let us begin our Sutta discussion by paying respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we have Aliana, Kelvin, Kim, Melinda, Margaret, Tanseng, Santidran, Cindy Eo, Ocho Wong, Wu Lin, Annie, Paduma, Suyin Chia, Yuan Lee, June, Corina, Jacqueline, Hema, Susan, Sin Fong, Yo Wei, and JH. There may be some others who might be joining. At the same time, we know that there are others who are watching this on Facebook page on Ti-Ratana, and including TC. TC limb. So today we are going to discuss the third quality that you need to cultivate in order to experience happiness in the next life. Now, it does not mean that we are only looking at the next life. Next life will happen, though we like or not, as long as we are not enlightened. So, the Buddha said to Dīghajāṇu, young man Dīghajāṇu, that if you want to be happy, succeed in your next life, or maybe the lives to come, you need to fulfill 4 virtues in this life. The first one being cāga-sampadā. Sampadā means accomplishment. It is not just 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 month saddha. It has to be a accomplishment. Accomplishment means you have to succeed in your saddha. Succeed. You have to be successful in your saddha. Second, you have to be successful in your sila. Sila means your morality, your discipline. That is what we discussed last Friday. And today we are going to discuss about the third virtue, good virtue, that we all have to cultivate, regardless of lay people or monastics, as long as we are continuing in the samsara in case. So the third one is called cāga-sampadā. Cāga-sampadā means you have to succeed in your cāga. What is cāga? I think we discussed cāga in many suttas. May I know what is cāga that we discussed in the many sutta discussions before? We discussed
Generosity.
Giving up,
generosity is one meaning.
giving up,
Giving up.
Giving up. So there is a problem. One is saying to give, the other one is saying give up. So how to believe you now? So cāga is a hybrid term which has dana cāga together, right? This is what we discuss. That means when you give something, you are physically giving, but during the giving or before, during, after, you may have thoughts about that particular giving. Those thoughts have to be properly managed. Say, for instance, if you come up with an expectation with regard to bhava, with regard to so many comforts, so many material things, that could be a thing that will take you out of cāga. That means cāga happens when you give up those expectations. But physically you are giving. Mentally you are giving up. So dana means giving, cāga means giving up. So today we are looking at an interesting, very, very interesting virtue, because when it comes to your practice, your Buddhist practice, I think one of the most frequent activities you are engaging is dana, right? Giving dana, offering dana, donating, right? So I think that could be the main practice, right? If we are not mistaken. I think if you look at your connection to a vihara, I think the most important connection that you are having is dana, right? Then sila and bhavana, meditation, chanting, all that come after that, right? So then how to do this dana with cāga? So that is what the Buddha is asking Dīghajāṇu in this sutta. Dīghajāṇu means, think about, replace Dīghajāṇu with you. Then you will know that this advice is for all of you. When it comes to dana, and then we understand cāga is what we need to have with regard to the mind while you are in dana, there are some other things that you need to learn with regard to cāga-sampadā. So let us take a look at the Pali interpretation about what is cāga. I would like someone to read this time. It's a very short one. Perhaps someone of you can read well. Okay. cāga-sampadā, accomplishment in giving and giving up. Okay, this is the Pali statement. Before that, can we go back to the sutta itself? I want to show where we are now. You can see we have done Kalyana Mitta, Samajivi Katha, and then where else? From here, Saddha Sampada, Sila Sampada, right? And then today, cāga-sampadā. So we are here. So this is what we are going to discuss today, this part, English meaning. So we have to cover Paññā-sampadā next Friday and then do a review after that. Okay, so it's the same thing over here. So who would like to read this part? What is cāga-sampadā?
Bhante, I try.
Okay, please.
Kattamacha Vyagapaja cāga-sampadā Itta Vyagapaja Kulaputto Vigatama Lamacherena Chetesa Agarang Ajavasati Mutto Chago Payatapani Vosagarato Yacha Yogo Dana Samvibangarato
Vibhag.
Dana Samvibagarato Ayam Vuchati Vyagapaja cāga-sampadā.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Katamacha Bhyaggapajja cāga-sampadā. Idha Bhyaggapajja kulaputto Vigata Mala Maccherena Chetasa. So when you pronounce that, it has to be like this. Vigata is one. Mala, then Maccherena. Vigata Mala Maccherena. Maccherena Chetasa Agarang Ajja Vasati. Muttachago, Payatapani, Ossaggarato, Yachayogo, Dana Samvibhagarato. Ayam Vuchati Vyagapaja, cāga-sampadā. Now we can see on the surface level that there are certain things that one has to engage in to make your dana to become a cāga. What are they? Number one is this. Vigatamala Maccherena Chetasa Agarang Ajjavasa. This is number one. Huh? Then number two is Muttachago. Number three, Payatapani. Number four, Ossaggarato. Number five, Yacha Yoga. Number six, Dana Samvibhagarato. So in order for you to give Dana in the cāga way or with the cāga, you must have complete 6 things. Okay, this is what the Buddha asking lay people. Number one, we can see, and what is Vyagapajja, cāga-sampadā, the Kulaputto. Here we understand Agarang Ajjavasati. Agaram means Agar. Agara means house, right? Agarang Ajjavasati. So that means household. In simple English, someone who is living in a house. Because the idea with regard to house is that at that time, Sangha members did not stay in a house at that time. So Sangha members are supposed to travel, except the Vassa time, Vassana time. Even the Vassana time, staying in a temple came about after a long time, after Buddha's period. So initially, Sangha members used to travel. They didn't have a place to stay. The temple culture came in very late. So that's why the difference between Agar and then what do you call Anagar. The other one is Anagar. We had to write that too. Maybe I'm going to send it to you through the chat. Agar is house. And Anagar is That means that is wandering. Oh, homeless? How to say that? Are Sangha members homeless people? I mean, if you look at it, agara means house, anagara should be homeless. There's no home to protect, right? At that time, they didn't have houses, homes, right? Because otherwise you have to protect the house too, right? Now, when you have a house, you have to pay the mortgage, you have to pay the bills, right? Right? Somebody has to pay all that. You have to maintain the house. So then Sangha members don't have time to do their practice. Right? That's why later on this idea came in that Sangha members living in a temple, Dayakas, devotees are taking care of the utility bills, payments and all that. So earlier we understand this agara means house, then anagara means a place that is not the house. I mean, you can directly translate it to be homelessness. But now this idea, nobody should be like to get this entitlement. I'm a homeless person. Then that means you should be sleeping on the street, getting free food and all that, right? So, but we look at it differently. That's why the Buddha is always saying when someone becomes a monk or nun, that life is just like the sky. I mean, supposed to be freedom and all that. I mean, from a conceptual point of view. So, agara means householder. That means all of you. Agarang Ajjavasa dwells in the household. Then when it comes to cāga, then how to practice cāga by a person who is in a house? Number one is that vigata. Vigata means free from, right? Vigata means free from. Mala Maccherena. Macchera means stinginess. Now you understand. I think we discussed that already. Buddhism talks about two important akusalas with regard to greed. One is Macchera. Now Vigata means free from. Then Machere. Machere is a stain. Mala means stain. Can you think about the difference between Machere and Loba? Are they same? We discussed that already. Long time ago. Macharya and Loba. Is there a difference between those two? Let's put this way. Loba means greed. Then Macharya means stinginess. Can you identify a possible difference? Are they same or are they different? All they are relevant to your dana practice. Huh? I mean, all they are relevant to why some people cannot give things to other people. Any thoughts? Maybe revisions also, kind of revisions. What is the difference between Loba and Macharya?
Bhante, is it opposite? Opposite meaning? One is greedy, the other is stingy. Stingy is also like...
No, both people are not giving. Both are not giving. But one is not giving for a different reason. One is not giving for another reason. Both are not giving.
One, I think Loba is greedy because they want to have more for themselves, so they are greedy. Is it? Greedy.
I think greed is a very normal mental state that we all have. The difference is the degree, right? It is the
Yeah.
degree.
Stingy, not giving.
Yeah. So Macharya, if we translate Macharya to be stinginess, then what could be the difference between lobha and then the stinginess? Stinginess actually means, without taking
Not
much
give.
time, someone does not give because that person doesn't like to give to someone. Especially that dislike comes because the person doesn't like someone enjoy one's things. Now, everyone can be greedy in their own way. It is by decree. But that Macharya person doesn't like to give anything when he or she was asked why you are not giving, because I don't like someone enjoy my stuff.
Mm.
Bhante, is that called selfishness as well?
Well, both are rooted in selfishness. Greed, so selfishness. That one has a hatred. That's the difference. Lobha doesn't have a hatred, but Machari has a hatred. Long time ago, I had a student who never take out the laptop in the class. And I asked, how are you looking at my materials? Huh? Because these books, how to read these books? No, I can read from my phone. Then we got into a discussion about sentimental stuff. And he said, I am bringing my laptop every day. The laptop is 10 years old, 8 years old. His mother bought for him. Because it's too sentimental, I'm greedy in taking that out and using it in the class. I said, wow, it's an interesting point. So I make it very sentimental. I bring it to the class, but I don't want to take it out. I said, how old is the laptop? Perhaps 10 years. Okay. You can't say anything about this laptop. Maybe it's a very old laptop. But that sentimental nature, sometimes you have a very sentimental stuff. But that one is not greed on the surface level. Maybe he might think if we take out that in the class, then there may be times other people might ask, today I didn't bring my laptop. Maybe I can use your laptop too, right? So maybe then Macharya part can come about. If it is too sentimental, greed part is already there. So then greed and let's take it in Pali way. Lobha and Macharya has a clear distinction. May I know the distinction now, difference? I don't have to ask it again. Huh? Yes. What's the
Hatred
difference
one has
between
no
Lobha and
hatred.
Macharya?
Stinginess got hatred. Lobha, no hatred.
No hatred.
Okay, how does that hatred work with regard to Macharya? That's a good, I want to know. I mean, I said there is hatred. Yes. Hatred means
Because they didn't want
other
someone
people
to
to
use
use.
these
Other people to
things.
use.
Yeah.
Right? So then, according to how we studied the Pattakama Sutta, make a will. Don't die without making a will, because you don't know who will be using your stuff when you pass away one day. Right? The Buddha said to make a will, right? Pattakama Sutta. Because the hatred will come when the people who you don't like are going to use your stuff when you pass away. So the Buddha said, actually, Buddha is very interestingly talking about these things. He not only talk about anicca, everything is changing, so what to do, right? And not that passive way to look at it. Buddha said, yeah, even you like it or not, you're gonna die. Even you follow Buddhism or not, you're going to die, you're going to change. But until you die, you must spend life to the best of you, to the fullest of you. Then you must plan your finances, you must plan your family, you must plan your life, you must manage your thoughts, right? So Buddha is giving all that. So then the difference is that Macharya person also not giving to other people, just like the Lobha person, but Macharya person has a condition in not giving that to other people. Because if I'm the Macharya person, I don't like other people use my money, my stuff. I think it's a very interesting thing to learn, because when someone is going to die, they are trying to have an attitude with regard to what they have been using before they died. what will happen to my business? What will happen to my money? What will happen to my stuff? I think I don't like what's going to happen, but I have to die, right? That's why the Buddha said you have to clarify your intentions with regard to your possessions before you die, right? So then we can get out of Macharya. Loba is a very normal, very normal mental state. That is why the Buddha asked us to practice Noble Eightfold Path. The more we practice Noble Eightfold Path, the lesser we are affected with the Tanha. Tanha means the highest level of Loba, right? Intensification of the Loba is called Tanha. What is Tanha? How to understand Tanha?
Craving, is it?
Yeah,
Bhante?
craving is the English meaning. I'm asking how to differentiate Loba and Tanha, because Tanha is the problem with regard to our suffering, right? Our dukkha, right? According to the Four Noble Truths. Then how to understand Loba and Tanha? Loba is greed, Tanha is craving. How to understand it in a more conceptual way? The larger, broader version of our Loba is Tanha. That means when you have an intensification with regard to your Loba, that is called Tanha. Then the Buddha is identifying 6 types of Tanha. What are they? Wow, you are missing out on a lot of basics today. How to proceed? These are very fundamentals in Buddhism. I mean, if you're going to talk about something broader than this, we must know these basics, ABC. So our problem in this samsara is we have a lot of tanha. That is why we have suffering, dukkha, right? Pain. Then I'm asking, how many tanhas are there? Okay, kama tanha,
6.
kama, bhava, vibhava tanha are the larger version of tanha. But the Buddha identifies tanha in a basic level, the way how we can understand tanha.
6 sense bases, is it? 6
Tanha
sense
with regard to the six
6
sense
bases.
objects. Where did the Buddha give that? In the Vibhanga Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya. The Buddha actually used, there is a sutta about Paticca-samuppada. Now, this Vibhanga Vagga in the Samyutta Nikaya talks about how to understand Paticca-samuppada. Paticca-samuppada is a central teaching in Buddhism, right? What's the central teaching in Buddhism? Paticca-samuppada. And through Paticca-samuppada, what we are supposed to understand? Four Noble Truths. You see the connection here. The central teaching in Buddhism, what is happening to me? Why am I here? Where am I going after this? Why am I being happy? Why this is happening to other people? They all happen. Karma, everything happened through Paticca-samuppada. Therefore, if everything is happening through the Paticca-samuppada, what are we supposed to understand? Four Noble Truths. In order for us to understand Four Noble Truths, what should we do? Practice the Noble Eightfold Path. That makes sense. So when Buddha was talking Paticca-samuppada in very much details, he explained in that Vibhanga Sutta Samyutta Nikaya that tanha is sixfold. What are they? Just like Melinda said, tanha's cravings with regard to sensual objects, or I would say sensory objects too. Rupa tanha with regard to sights that we see, people, things, all that. Saddha tanha with regard to sounds, likables or dislikables. Then Gandha tanha with regard to
Taste or smell.
And then rasa tanha with regard to taste. Good taste, bad taste, neutral taste, maybe okay taste. And the fifth one, pottabba tanha with regard to touch. When we step out of our comfort zone, how suffering is that? Think about some people when they lose their pillow, right? They cannot even sleep anywhere, right? When they lose their mattress, sleep, cozy places, right? They can't handle their even daily life. I can't sleep like this. I need that pillow. I need that mattress. I need that cozy place, right? So touch. Tanha with regard to touch. Last one, Dhamma Tanha. Dhamma Tanha means craving with regard to the Dhamma teachings, is it? Dhamma Tanha. That's called literally Dhamma Tanha. What is it? Craving with regard to Dhamma. Do people crave for Dhamma? No, Dhamma in that context means thoughts. Craving with regard to our thoughts, because we like to have certain thoughts during the day. When you wake up in the morning, get up, you want to be positive. Today I want to listen to positive things. I want to be positive. I want to talk to positive people. I want to be inspired. Why? Your thoughts are telling you, go for it. Go grab your thoughts. Follow them. Chase after them. If you don't get those thoughts fulfilled, you are not happy. Because we are conditioned by our previous thoughts. If they are not conditioned, then we are creating conditions. So that means there are 6 types of tanha. Then how to understand kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha? Where did the Buddha talk about these 3 types of tanha? These were given in the Buddha's first Dhamma talk, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So the Buddha clarified those 6 tanha within kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Kama tanha means all those 6 tanhas, right? Craving for the sensual pleasures excessively. And then bhava tanha means craving to be eternal. Is anybody here wanting to be eternal? Living for 150 years? Maybe 200 years? That's a discussion, right? In today's world, scientists are looking for certain things. What do they call that subject? They have a name for that subject, the science of studying about those things. We call it transhumanism. Transhumanism. Transhumanism means, this is the English word, so that's an interesting word. See, right. Transhumanism.
Excuse me, Bhante, could you also write down the actual spelling for this
Yeah, sorry.
Patthagama Tanha, Patthagama Sutta?
Patthagama.
Wait, what's the name of the sutta where Buddha advises one to right will?
Patthagama Sutta. Yeah,
Patthagama Sutta.
we discussed that already. Patthagama Sutta. I think maybe Aliana will post the link later on as she has time. So, bhava tanha means craving to be eternal. So then in today's world, the science and technology have been looking for certain answers for this eternalism in their own way. Now, say for instance, I want to share with you some of the things, not to say that this is anti-Buddhist, certain ideas. Now, say for instance, there is an idea happening called cloning. I think you know this, cloning, right? What is cloning? Cloning means creating an artificial
Fake. Fake, is it?
artificial, I mean, you can say
Artificial life.
artificial being,
Artificial life.
creating an artificial being. Now, is this Buddhist unfriendly? This is a discussion going on. Some of the scientists are thinking, no, it is Buddhist unfriendly. Actually, it is not Buddhist unfriendly, because when the Buddha was talking Paticca Buddha is suggesting 2 ways beings can be reborn. One is the usual way that we all pass through. What is it? We were traveling in the name of Gandhabba, right? Our name was Gandhabba. When we die, we become Gandhabbas during the time that we are looking for another body. So once we died from the last life, we became Gandhabbas. And this Gandhabba nature cannot survive too long. Tibet Buddhism says, no, we spend like 49 days, that is called Bardo stage. But in Theravada or early Buddhism, we say, no, it's very instantaneous. You can become a ghost, you can become an animal, you can become a deva, you can be reborn as a human as well. So it is said that the usual process is that once we die, we become a Gandhabba, a name for our consciousness. It is said this Gandhabba, when our consciousness departs this body, it is said that our consciousness naturally becomes too smart, smarter than how it was in the body before. Okay, so then what happened? This existential consciousness that is traveling to another body cannot survive too long, must find a body that is appropriate for the good karma and bad karma that were done by the person in the last life and the previous life. So once the Gandhabba finds the proper body, and Gandhabba gets into the body, and then that physical entity become a full sentient being. Now this is the usual process, right? Which is what we have gone through. What about the cloning process? Cloning process happened the other way around, right? That means scientists are creating an artificial body, and then in that process, material body is already already existed, and then consciousness comes after. Is this Buddhism friend? No, Buddha says when it comes to Paticca Samuppada has how many links are there in the Paticca?
12
12.
links, 12 links.
12 links. Think about, pay attention to the link between Vijnana and Namarupa. Now this is the process. Vijnana, our Gandhabba nature, creates Namarupa. At the same time, it is said, not even Vijnana creates Namarupa. At certain times, Namarupa creates Vijnana. And saying that now Vijnana Namarupa Vijnana are mutually constructed links, not like the other ones. And we have two mutually constructive links in the Paticca. One is avijja. You might think about, what is the first link? Avijja. Then how did avijja arise? That's a question, right? If everything is relational, then avijja cannot be standalone. Then in many suttas in Samyutta Nikaya, Buddha is saying, no, avijja is mutually constructed by asavas, influxes. So asavas create avijja, avijja create influxes. So asava, avijja, avijja, asava. And then again, the second mutually constructed link is namarupa, vijnana, namarupa, vijnana. So now we take that second process with regard to the cloning process. That means a body is already existed, and and then the vijnana comes according to that. And on the other hand, what is happening with regard to vijnana namarupa? That means consciousness is fully grown, definitely fully blown, and then just before the namarupa is properly created through maybe a sexual encounter, consciousness is fully ready, is fully blown to get into that particular fetus or an embryo. So this is not Buddhist unfriendly. This is one thing. So cloning is happening. But this was a very, this was initially happening in 1996 when the scientists found out a sheep, artificial sheep called Dolly. But now this has been happening too long. On the other hand, scientists are looking for something called cryonics, cryopreservation. What is that? They are thinking, in their own perspective, they are thinking to freeze dead bodies and thinking whether we can keep the human life for 300, 400 years. Is this Buddhism friendly? We can look at it this way. Yes, Buddhism believes when someone passes away, that person is already reborn somewhere. Even you keep the dead bodies, you can't keep the consciousness, right? But there are different ways to look at it. Say, for instance, nowadays we have transhumanism. What is transhumanism? Scientific advancements and then advancements through technology to go beyond the biological limitations. Do we have biological limitations in our body? We do, right? What's the first biological limitation we have?
Aging.
Aging. Aging is the first biological limitation. That means we don't like to age that fast, right? So then there is a subject called gerontology in science. That means science of studying aging. But now we understand there are many things happening with regard to aging. Even if you go and buy a soap, you can see anti-aging soap and the normal soap. Which one is more expensive? Anti-aging one is more expensive. Right? You have to spend maybe double than that price. Anti-aging. Right? What about those other things? Maybe creams, maybe other products, right? Even rejuvenation stuff. They are very costly. Even if you go for a dermatology, dermat clinic, how expensive are those products? Very, very expensive. They are bringing anti-aging stuff. Then that means, I mean, there is a great opportunity for science to think about that every human being must live longer. There is no harm in dying. There is no harm in living longer, because maybe in Buddhism, I think I answered this question many weeks ago to Sister Hema. Why should we live longer? The answer was that when you live longer with good consciousness, we can practice more Dhamma. Oh, you are learning too many Dhamma things now. How long are you going to practice out there? You need time. So if you can live longer with some well-being, mental health, and physical health, that could be a good way to do it. But karma can affect us. We never know, right? So in this way, we look at these advancements different. So I want to tell you then, we go back to the Lobha and Maccharya. When the Lobha is intensified, that will be craving. So then Bhavatanha means craving to be eternal. And Vibhavatanha means craving not to exist after this life. But that is not the Arahant's perspective. Arahants also think like that, right? We don't want to live in the next life. But there's a difference between Arahant and someone who doesn't like to be reborn in the next life from a nihilistic idea. All these Abrahamic religions, they are bringing up nihilistic ideas, right? That means only one life, right? So when we say only one life, someone might think I can do whatever I want, right? Now you are very careful about what you are doing, because you know that you are creating real-time karma, right? So I have to pay for it. That's why you are very careful. So somebody who is nihilistic might think, no, there is no next life, so what to worry? Just do it. Just do it. That is being nihilistic. So then craving to be nihilist, that is the third craving. So now we understand Lobha and Maccharya are two things with regard to a person who is not giving anything to someone. But Lobha is a normal state, and Maccharya is a state where the person is not giving still, but the purpose of not giving is different than the normal Lobha person. Now let us go into the cāga over here. So number one is that if you want to practice cāga, you need to free your mind from stinginess. That means when you are going to be generous towards anyone, you don't have to carry any preference or hatred, dislike. Our generosity has to be free from dislikes. That is why the Buddha is mentioning Maccharena. We have to exceed Maccharya. He did not use the Lobha here, because he understands Lobha is a Very, very normal, natural state. Still, it is a problem, but we have to work on it. But Madhcharya is too complicated. And then the second thing that we have to do with regard to cāga-sampadā is Mutta Cāga. Mutta Cāga means, now Cāga means giving up, but Mutta Cāga, you are liberated when you give up. Are you? Are you liberating when you give up? I'm not talking about giving up when it is too hard for you. People give up when it is too hard, right? Normally this idea called giving up means giving up is taken as a failure in one's life. But we don't take it that way. We take it giving up with regard to any expectations of the giving, object of giving, recipients and all that. So, are we truly free when we give up? How does it happen?
No. No.
Yes, are we truly free when we give up? That is what the Buddha is saying here. The Buddha is saying,
Mm.
what he says? Mutta Cāga, when you are giving up, then you are free. Why? Think about two people. One is giving with lot of expectations, right? So that dana will become another loba or another Madhcharya to hold on to. But the other one is giving by giving up. What to hold on to? That was just an activity only. So you are free. So then do you think that there are people who are generous, but they are not free? Can you think about someone like that? Not to mention the names. Have you seen people who are generous, but they are not free? Free means not the physical freedom. Mentally, they are very troubled. Why? Now I am giving this thing. I listened to a Dhamma talk, and the Dhamma speakers told that we have to give this particular thing. Thereby I will be reborn XYZ person, maybe in a heaven. Maybe this will not happen to me. So what will happen? Will the freedom come to that person? Or will lot of complications come to that person with regard to that giving? Freedom will not come to that person. What is happening by giving that kind of thing is that creating more complications with regard to dana thought. That means giving up, if we are truly doing the cāga, giving up with regard to the expectations part, we are really free. Even during the moment of time, we are free. Even before the time, before the giving, we are free. Even after the dana, we are free. Right? Remember, there is a story with regard to one Brahmin, Chulla Ekasataka. That I think this is a Dhammapada story somewhere. In this story, what is happening is that there was a Brahmin and his wife. They only have one shawl. You know the shawl, the white color, a shawl that they used to come to Vihara to listen to Dhamma talk. So what happened? Because they had only one shawl, it stopped them coming to the temple together and listen to the Dhamma talk. So one day Brahmin comes, another day the wife of the Brahmin comes. Right? So that was a problem. They could not afford two shawls. One day when the Brahmin came, he was listening to the Dhamma throughout the night. And by the end of the Dhamma talk, the Buddha was giving the Dhamma talk, he thought, I had nothing to give to the Buddha. So I am going to offer this shawl that we both have. We don't have other shawl. So he came up, he then offered. And he was so happy. He said, I won. And then everybody was shocked to hear, who is this person saying, I won? Well, how did you win here? And King Kosala was also in the Dhamma audience. He looked at this man. What did you win? I won from the battle of my greed. We had a greed, both of us had a greed towards this shawl. We had only shawl. One thing is that we could not afford to buy another one. And the other one was this shawl was very sentimental to both of us. But today, I summoned my courage. I made up my mind. I gave it up. See? What is this? Mutta cāga. This is Mutta cāga. Right? Mutta cāga means you gave up and you are free. Nothing to worry about. Anything else. So that is number one. So how we are becoming free with regard to it. Third thing is, first is free from macharya, no dislike with regard to dana. And second is freedom that we are creating through giving up, cāga. Third is payata pani. Pani means, what does pani mean? Pani has many meanings. If you go to India, if you say pani, they will bring you water. Right? Water. Give me pani. Pani means water. But
Not
here
tani.
pani means hand.
Oh.
Right? Payata pani means what kind of hand? Open hand, ready to give. Payata pani. How do we understand that? Are we giving dana with hands wide open? What does it mean by hands wide open? There's no condition for the dana. Everyone is welcome. Right? It's like a katina dana, right? That's a good way to look at it. Katina dana, you cannot stop anyone coming to the temple, right? Everyone, because katina dana, can you do katina dana 2-3 times a year in the temple? No, only one time. So if somebody misses this katina dana, maybe next year the person might be dead already. We cannot stop anybody. Everybody is welcome for the dana. So that's a one-time activity. One temple has only one katina, no 2-3 katinas. I mean, this is an example. So that means when we are engaging in dana activities, we have to do it widely. That means not making it a very, I know there are situations where you cannot afford giving lots of food. I mean, there are logistical problems. But other than that, our idea, our intention has to be very wide. We should not make it very small in that sense. So we are ready to give. We are ready to give. We are wide open for the dana activities. Now, is it only about Sangika dana? No, it's about all types of generosity that we have personally in our life. Are you ready to give anytime? Anything that you want to give? This is a very personal aspect, right? When it comes to giving, somebody can think about, okay, I can give, but I also have only one thing. So maybe if I have an extra, I will give. Right? This is a way to look at it. I mean, some people might think it that way. But examples like Chulleka-Sataka's example, they gave what they only had. So that's a very Mutta cāga type of giving. They had the freedom right away. And then, what are the other examples where we can see this readiness to give? Do you think that people that you know in your life, they are ready to give to you, or they are thinking twice, thrice? Maybe I will give some thoughts and let you know. How do you look at it about others and about you? Are we ready to give anything anytime? Or we are making excuses? Not today, maybe another year, next month. I cannot treat you today. Right? How do people engage in this dana with regard to readiness? Are they ready anytime? Or are they ready only on a certain day, my dana day, or maybe another day? Are they ready in their personal behavior? Any thoughts? Now, this Payatapani means we should be ready as much as possible with regard to dana. Okay. So it is not only food. It can be a gift. It can be a word of mouth thing. It can be a smile. We should be ready, right? That is called payatapani. I mean, of course, it's through the hand, but there is a figurative meaning, readiness to give dana anytime. Fourth one, vossagga rato. What is vossagga? Letting go. Rato means delight. Now, when we hear people's stories every day, I mean, time to time in today's world, what are they talking about? I'm going to hit a deal today, you know. There are rewards, deals, promos, discounts. They are thinking how to get that discount every day. Maybe they are waiting for a couple months to get that discount. This is what many people might be thinking. Maybe they have financial problems. But sometimes there are people who don't have that kind of problem. But they are always worrying about that. That means, are they having lot of thoughts with regard to letting go or try to acquire things from certain things? There is a gap between letting go and acquiring. Of course, it's not bad to acquire certain things as necessary in your life. But what if that we are maintaining thoughts of, I mean, acquiring, maybe trying to possess all the time? What if our thoughts are always about possessions? I want to possess. I want to possess more and more. If these are my thoughts that are happening every time, then I cannot have vasaggarato. What if that I know I need to acquire, I need to get certain things, obtain certain things, but at the same time, I'm trying to practice vasaggarato. I'm happy, I'm delighted with regard to letting go. How can we do that in our life? Any examples? How do you practice letting go in your life? Because different people are distributing different things. Someone is very angry today, I may say, for instance, non-factual example. And the person might think, I want to make other people angry too. I want to distribute my anger, right? I'm very frustrated today. I want to distribute that, right? So that means, I mean, that is not a good way of distributing stuff, especially with regard to letting go. We got a reply here. Donation of organs is a dana. So if a sick person in hospital asks the doctor not to save him, so he can let go his body, is it a great dana? It is not a great dana. I think you are talking about an euthanasia, compassionate killing idea, because even you cannot ask someone to kill you out of compassion. That is wrong. That is un-Buddhist. But if the person is going to naturally die in that way, that is a different thing. Maybe you can say what you want to do after that. But this kind of example is not done. Anyway, we go back to our topic and we will pick up similar questions later on. So Vosaggarato means when it comes to cāga, giving up, we should be able to cultivate more thoughts about letting go. I know it's challenging. Dhamma is challenging. It's not that easy on the surface level. I mean, you might think you can theorize. I mean, but when you know the proper way to do it, it is becoming easier. But until you don't know how to do it, it is very challenging. So that's why if we make us into letting go, say for instance, what to let go in my life, number one is bad memories. Should we let go of these things? We have to let go of them. Why? We are not living in the past anymore. So we have to let go of it. What do many people do? They even share the bad memories with other people. They give dana. They give dana. They want to give their bad memories as dana to other people, make their life also very uncomfortable every day. Why to give dana, these bad memories? You don't have to, because we understand we have to get going, you know. So what we need to understand, we have to let go negativities, akusalas, and trying to cultivate as much as possible. But the most important thing is to have an attitude to let go. Have an attitude. I don't know what you're going to let go, but have an attitude to let go, so that will become your daily practice. Okay, was Sangaratu. And then the last two, the fifth one is Yacha Yogo. Who is Yacha? Yacha means, who is Yacha? Beggar. Beggar or someone who doesn't have certain requisites, food, housing, whatever. So Yacha Yogo means be available for those people. I mean, be eligible, be deserved for those people whom whom you support later on with regard to their life. As you can see here, responsive to request, ready to be asked. Have you ever heard situations like, can I borrow something from somebody? And your friend is saying, oh, you never ask from that person. He or she will never give you anything, right? Right? It's not going to happen. You never ask from that person. They will never give you anything. But if you want to ask something, you ask from that person will give anything to you if he or she could. Have you experienced these situations in your life? You had, right? So that means people who need support will not approach those people. Even among the people in the society, you may hear the stories about other people. But at the same time, you will hear very beautiful stories. If you want anything, let me know. I try my best to give something. Right? So that person is a Yacha Yoga person. That means Yacha Yoga means deserved to be asked. But other people should not disturb that person all the time. But they know there is support with that person. Yacha Yoga. Finally, Dana Sangvibhaga Ratu. Number 6. This is a very interesting thing. Okay, Dana means giving. And I would add Cāga part 2 because it's all about Cāga. Sangvibhaga means distribution, sharing. Can you give everything to other people that you have? You cannot, right? So then what can you do in the event that you cannot give to other people? You can share, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have some food. You don't have a lot of food. You can share. You can say, I don't have a lot of food. I can share with you, right? That means the Buddha is saying, in order for you to practice Cāga, you need to consider giving as much as possible. In the event that you cannot give, you can share. Sangvibhaga. Dana Sangvibhaga means giving and sharing. Right? Is sharing important in our life? May I know how do
Yes.
you share your things with other people if it is not too personal? How do you share things with other people? What do you share? Maybe every week, maybe every day, maybe every month. Yeah. I think that can create some good, examples to discuss within. Knowledge.
Share some Dhamma knowledge with my neighbors.
Sharing
Yeah.
Dhamma with the neighbor.
Neighbors.
Okay. And then experience. That's a very important one, right? Sometimes sometimes we are very knowledgeable with regard to Dhamma, but we don't have experience in life with regard to Dhamma, right? We know a lot of things, but we have not experienced properly. So experience is something you can share. Then what else?
Skills, Bhante.
Huh?
Verbal skills.
Skills.
Mm.
Talent, skills.
Mm.
Looks like nobody's sharing food with anybody. That's why you are not saying.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm
Share
actually want to say about
garden
food already.
noodles.
Share
Food.
food
We do all,
with
Sharing
neighbors
food.
also, with
Yes.
my
Share garden
siblings.
Listening to
animals
share,
and
right?
animals from
we
garden.
Yeah.
do all
Yes,
the
yes.
time.
And then what
We do
else?
all the time.
Share recipe.
You are not even sharing food. You are telling them how to make it. There is
Share
no
recipe.
there is not secret recipe anymore.
Kombucha,
No secret
kombucha.
recipe. They are all given, shared.
So, Elena, kombucha.
Yes, yes. And then what else? Time. Time is a very important thing. We don't in today's world we
Yes.
are very greedy about our time. Don't
Yeah.
ask me anything. I have my things to do. I have to go there. I have to do this thing. That means
Yes.
one of the very important ways to do dana is time, but for the right person.
Mm.
Don't give time to the wrong people. I mean, of course, we are managing it, but sometimes if you give your great deal of time to unnecessary people, you will worry about you. I don't think it's a good idea. So time definitely. And then
Share works or
merits. We are doing that at the end also. Merits.
Yeah.
Why did the Buddha ask us to share the merits? It is because our first setback, the fundamental setback to attaining Nibbana is Sakkaya Ditthi. And then if the Buddha didn't ask us to share the merits, then we will create more Sakkaya Ditthi at the end of this Sutta discussion. Why? I listened to Dhamma talk. I listened to Sutta discussion. I was in the Sutta. I did meditation. I. But I didn't say, no, it's not I. Let us create merits and let us give them to somebody else. When I give to somebody else, it's not mine anymore. And I've been doing it. I'm sharing it. It lowers Sakkaya Ditthi. That's the purpose of it. Even the Buddha is saying Satipatthanas. How did he ask us to practice Satipatthana? After every Satipatthana exercise, breath meditation, Sampajanya, what else? Dhatu Manasikara, 32 body parts, feelings, 16 thoughts, Dhammanupassana. After every exercise, the Buddha is saying something about this. What he says? He says, when you practice this particular exercise, you must do it by yourself, ajjatta, internally, and bahiddha, externally. Now let's take the breath meditation. He's saying, now practice breath meditation internally. That means you practice it by watching your own breath and then practice externally. That means you should know that this experience is a universal experience. It's not only your experience of watching your breath. And long time ago, when we discussed about this, somebody thought it would mean to watch how other people breathe at that point, the meditation retreat. I said, how did you practice that? No, I was trying to watch how the next person next to me was practicing breath meditation. I said, that's not external looking at breath. Externally looking at means when you are practicing breath meditation, you have to always think that this is not only my experience, this is a universal experience. Every sentient being goes through this. Then what will happen? Then I can create less Sakkaya Ditthi with regard to my meditation progress. Right? Sharing time. What are the other things you can share with other people?
One day I shared the SIM card, the phone
SIM
line,
card.
the phone line to
Phone line.
yeah, the extra SIM. I mean, in a family package, so I have
Family
extra.
package. Yeah, that means
So I share out.
Okay, that's a very good thing, right?
Mm.
Family
Yeah.
package. That means you can give your
My
SIM
brother.
card to other people too, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at it along the line, can we buy a secondary credit card to somebody from our credit card thing? I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, if you are the first card holder and they say they
Yeah.
provide second, third, fourth person, but you have to be liable for the credit card. Some
Yeah.
people do it.
I do that.
You do it too. Yes, see?
Because one day, yeah, the emergency, they didn't have money and to go for cancer treatment. So it's one of my staff. I just gave a card. I say you continue use it, you know, to support to go through, and it was
See?
a successful recovery. That was good.
Yeah, because your initial intention was you want to make sure when they need money, they don't have to call you. And you know that
I don't have to go to the hospital to
you don't
sign.
have to go, they don't want to
Yeah.
worry about it, and you made a plan for them.
That's
Right?
right. Yeah,
That's
you
a very
did.
good thing. But be careful, nah? I mean, just because
Yeah,
you
don't-
are doing that doesn't mean everybody should do at the same time. You have to know the situation, condition, but you have found out a great way to do it. So in this way, you can share a lot of things. Maybe we can discuss more later. But now I just want to say that in order for you to complete your cāga-sampadā, you also need to share, not even give. Not everything can be given. Certain things, maybe more things cannot be given. They can only be shared, right? So that is what we understand here with regard to cāga. Now, let me take you back again to the cāga-sampadā. How many things you have to do? Okay, you have to have a mind free from maccharya, stinginess. Number one, maccharya means not giving because of certain dislike. You have to get rid of that mentality. Second, you have to free yourself through your giving up. Actually, when we give up, we are free. We are not bounded by anything at that point. Number three, payatapani, let us be ready for giving accordingly. I mean, but we know that there are conditions with regard to that, but let us be ready to give as much as possible, depending on the situation, depending on the, the particular case. The fourth one is Vosaggaratu, let us practice letting go as an attitude. Okay. Normally, people might give up when they are so tired. But why don't we create this as an attitude? So when we let go, lot of arguments also will go down, right? Lot of fights also will go down. Why people fight with other people? Because they cannot let go. They want to bring up something happened in the past.
Ego.
Yeah, we all have ego, but the problem is what is happening because of the ego. So what is happening because of the ego are a lot of things, and when things happen, when such things happens, they cannot let go. So they want to argue, they want to fight, they want to be mad. So the easiest way is that let us practice letting go as an attitude. Then we can minimize a lot of fights, arguments, problems, frustration. And then you are free. You have cāga-sampadā. And then the fifth one is being a person who is available for the people or beings who need support. Just like we discussed already about other people for other people's situation. Finally, sometimes you cannot give dana at those in those situations you may need to share. So this is called cāga-sampadā. This is what the Buddha told Dīghajāṇu, how to practice cāga. Let us take a look at certain things depending on the time. Now you know there is a difference between dana and cāga. What is the difference? Dana is primarily an outward act. It does not always say that you are doing it without expectation. Okay, but when it comes to cāga means this is more towards inward purification, and that is more towards purifying your own mind. So I would put it this way. Generosity in Buddhism has two stages. One, you start with dana, you must end with cāga, or you have to bring dana, cāga together. You cannot do it only with dana. So dana, cāga must play together within the activity. And then we will take a look at these 8 points very, very briefly. Giving with expectations, transactional generosity. Actually, we know that in Buddhism, even in Hinduism, even in Christianity, I think even in Islam as well. So all these religions talk about never give with expectations, right? But we have certain customary things, like at the end of the ceremony, we are giving good karmas with the departed people, or maybe the devas. So, I mean, that is not an expectation. Actually, that is a sharing, because I don't want to take it by myself. I want to give it to other people. It is also cāga, actually. But what if you are giving the dana to only think about your personal, uh, maybe your personal imaginations for the next life, just because you know certain things? That could be a problem. Or maybe you are giving something to someone thinking that person will help me back. Have you done that? Have you done those kind of offerings in your life? And you must have ended up with lots of frustrations because that person did not repay in the same way how you expected. So it's a living proof. When we give something to someone, we think about what to give, we are ready. But when we give, we must have given up. So no problem. Even if that person is going to give me back or not, I'm not worried about it. That is the highest level of cāga. So nobody can disturb us. At the same time, I am practicing my dana and cāga, and to myself and to other people, but nobody can disturb. So then it will not become a transactional activity. And then second, giving without, this is the ideal state, dana, cāga together. Third one, the role of intention matters with regard to dana. In Buddhism, the value of dana is measured not by the size of the gift, but by the quality of the mind giving it. A small gift given with pure intention can be greater than a large gift given. Now, does this mean that tomorrow, when you are normally giving lot of food to the sangha members, you're going to cut down the dishes, cut down, downsize? No. I mean, you're gonna give it the same way, maybe much better, better than that. But when we talk about people, some people think, I cannot afford to give a lot of things. It's okay, you have to give. Because we give what we can give, right? So someone can give higher, someone cannot give. So doesn't matter. It's like someone who has lots of income is paying more tax to the government, right? And someone who has not that much money paying less to the government. Maybe if that person is a low income person, the person will never pay any tax to the government, right? So this is the thing. So it doesn't matter. What matters is that giving with the right intention. Intention means cāga intention. The fourth one, we understand there are certain social pressures with regard to giving, and then you understand the situation. And what is important at that point is that engaging in any dana activity with the right intention, cetana. This is also relevant to the first one. I want to discuss about this thing. In the Singhalavada Sutta, the Buddha teaches 4 ways of treating others. 4 treats. Number 1 is dana. Number 2, peyya vacca. Kind words, pleasant words. The Buddha said one of the best ways to be generous in our daily life is speaking nicely to someone. Do we try to speak kindly, nicely to other people? How to speak to other people with kindness and compassion? We have to be mindful, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, how to talk nicely to other people? So every time when someone was talking not in a nice way to you, don't take it right away. Don't take it that this person insulted me. Think that the person is not mindful. That's why she cannot be kind. She cannot be compassionate. So one of the best ways that we can treat other people is being able to speak nicely and kindly. That's the second trait. Third trait, attacharya, beneficial conduct service, acting in ways that are helpful, offering assistance, right? So maybe you are counseling someone, maybe you are supporting. Samanatata means impartiality, equality, treating others as oneself. You know, when some people treat other people, they make a special preference. Yes, there are occasions as such, but when you are treating someone, maybe many, you should make it in a way that does not create a preference. So that will be your nature of your life. So that is a very interesting way to treat. So there are 4 ways to treat other people, which is coming under dana. Then at the end of any dana, you should not take whatever your dana personally, make it in the cāga way. Sometimes respect, blessings, recognition can go with certain expectations. Let's say you donate to some a place, you give things to other people, but those people don't acknowledge you. Has that happened to you? So then how would you respond to that? Would you go after them and asking them and acknowledge, hey, you have to acknowledge my donation, acknowledge what I did to you. I have spent so much time for you. Why are you not grateful to me? How are we to look at that side? So that's why the Buddha is saying when we are going to help someone in particular, we have to know, is this the right person to help? But for other people, we still help. But we have to be careful how we going to do that support and help. Because if you are going to be too much supportive for someone and having a lot of expectation, then we might be in trouble, just like in the 6th. Purification is the most important thing. The Buddha said, regardless of any dana, the before the dana situation, during the dana situation, after dana situation, during these 3 times, we should not create any frustration and disappointment with regard to our dana. That is how you're going to make it a cāga. Finally, I would say ideal practice of dana means integrating dana cāga together. Okay, so this is what we've been discussing here, and let me take some of the questions that were posted here. Right. Okay, Aliana has a question, but if cultivating the thoughts only but no actions, how do we look on this situation? It depends on why that person cannot act on that, right? Some people, they have enough facilities to support, but they don't want to. They only have thoughts. So I think I will define that as sloth and thought. Tīna-metta. You have the kusala thought, but still you don't want to make it an action. So that is a problem. Second instance is that someone who has a lot of kusala thoughts, but no provisions, no money to do it. It cannot materialize. So that's a difference. So it all depends on what condition, what situation are the both people going through. How do you develop the attitude to let go? What are the techniques? The technique is cāga technique that you are learning today. So, okay, let me tell you, what is letting go? Letting go means that we don't want to hold on to that particular experience. It happened, and we consciously think that if I hold on to that particular thought or memory, I am wasting my time right now. Because Buddhism is always saying this very moment is very important. So then I understand if I hold on to an unnecessary past experience, then I cannot let go that so my motivation to let go is that I have to let go to become happy at the moment, at the same time to practice more Dhamma. So with those 2 motivations, you will make it a daily attitude. House of shelter. One brother offered to share his house to tell Kalyana Mitta in Indonesia. Tremors. Brother T.C. Lim, would you like to explain a little bit this situation? Maybe I can think about a better answer. Yes, Brother T.C. Can you make it please short? Yeah.
There's a crisis in Indonesia, so some of the fellow Buddhists there may feel unsafe. So the Buddhists in Malaysia offered offered them that if they are not safe, they can come over to stay in their house until the crisis is over.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a very good sharing. Yeah.
Refuge.
Yes. Yes. All right. Any other questions? We can take one or two questions from others about cāga-sampadā today.
Bhante, I have two questions to ask. First thing, sharing is a good, but sometimes the people will think that they wanted a free ride. At the same time, they feel like they're entitled to get everything what we have. We can help them, but they are emotionally or mentally believe that they are not interested to do any work physically or mentally. And then when we are not there for them, then they become a very annoyed, and they come after us, kind of like, I'm entitled, you're not helping me, some kind of, this kind of things. So that's the first question. The second question is, the time sharing is good, but sometimes people emotionally down, they need the support from us. So we console them and so on. But let's say they are coming after us day by day, and then we can't do other job, then we keep entertaining them. So these are the two questions from me. So how to handle that?
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you,
So
Bhante.
when I think about the first question, you were saying that some people they feel that they are entitled. I mean, as you support them, that is why I think it is a very normal feeling. It's not a feeling of a monster because some people cannot manage their way of living. Maybe they have their own issues. So that's why the Buddha is saying, as we learn in Pattakama Sutta, it is said that we have to treat our relatives. That is one objective of the money. But be those relatives or other friends or whoever, you should know how to support them. Because some people can become problem makers in that support. So you have to manage yourself and then to help them. Say, for instance, you are giving sometimes the stuff that you are giving to other people. Maybe if you happen to lend money to all these people every month, and you are not letting them to come up with certain business ideas, maybe become their own entrepreneurs, and then to start something, but you've been giving money, because just because you have money, and they will become heavily depend on you. And then they will become a problem to you at that point. When you stop giving to them, they will come after you by saying, we are entitled for your money. So then where is the problem? The problem is not being able to understand how to help, not the help. Help must be given. How to help has to be found out. How to help, what to give, and when to give, and where to give. I think these questions must be answered in supporting. Supporting is a very good thing. We have to do it as much as possible, but those questions must be answered. Then this problem will be minimized. Second, the emotional situation, right? Now think about, you listen to someone's story. One day, half an hour, you listen to someone. And tomorrow also you're going to listen to the same person for the half an hour. Then the person might think, this person has lots of time for me. And on the third day, you are saying, I have an urgent meeting. I cannot listen. How come? Last 2 days you were listening to me. Are you avoiding me? So that means when we help someone with our time, we have to find out what could be a better way to listen to this person. Share our time. Not that giving whole our time. Okay, for the whole next week, I can listen to you. Don't give them unnecessary hopes. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. This is the problem. If we give them the benefit of the doubt, we are in trouble. Now, what we want to do? We want to help, and we want to stay away from the problems, from the beneficiaries. So these two have to be balanced out. I hope that answers.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions for today about cāga-sampadā? Yes, Hema.
Bhante, normally I felt, one should give out of what they have extra, or giving from fullness and emptiness. If they lack of it and they give more and it drain them it would drain one person down. So I always feel that it's good to give when one has it first, so that the anything extra you're giving out of fullness, then not having, like, if we give time and we have so limited time, then when it is overdoing it and you are really tied up, or you're giving too much money and then later you have to find more money to do other things. So I felt that normally give the extra that one has, so that you won't be stressed out in giving. So you're giving out of joy, and it's effortless in a way. It's an extra and you really give. So first thing I think is to take care of oneself first, to be rich in which area, in whichever way, the time, effort, or whichever way we have. I don't know. That's my concept, that out of fullness is very important. That's all.
Yes.
My view is, Bhante, whether it's correct or not.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, what is the problem at stake here is that supporting someone is not the problem here. I think we all agree we want to support other people. The problem is how to do it. This is the problem here. How to do it, where to do it, when to do it, who to do it. I think these questions can be answered in our own ways without putting our fingers into that risky situation. If you can answer these questions, then I think that dana will become a cāga as well. Now, finally, what will happen? You are supposed to get rid of your cāga, but the beneficiaries are asking you to give up your own cāga. Maybe they have their own cāga problem. So you are creating a mess, unnecessary mess. You are there just because of your generosity. You want to help out other people. Finally, they are making you, I mean, responsible for their own problems at the end. That's why I'm saying, let us figure out, let us assess our generosity with regard to how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, which way would be the best way. We have no problem with regard to giving and sharing. Everybody is agreeing for that. But let us find out these things in our life. I think when we do that assessment personally for our relatives, our loved ones, society, the temples, XYZ other things, then we can have a very trouble-free, problem-free generosity and sharing in our personal life. I think that is what we want to have. All right.
Bhante, one more question. Can I
Yes,
just
yes,
quick
Barbara.
one? Is it not good to ask a child to say thank you? Because every time he or she receives it, he doesn't say thank you. So are we also encouraging the kind of expectation from a giver to think that the person must say thank you to me whenever they receive something?
Oh, you're asking question. Well, in a civilized society, thank you is complimentary, but sometimes thank you is not coming that way. I mean, different people go through different things. So that's why we have to cultivate the cāga. When we cultivate the cāga, we will get compliments, acknowledgement from other people, but some people might not give it. It's okay. To understand those people who cannot give it, not in a way that that person insulted me, rather than thinking that person has a different way to look at it, right? I think that is what the cāga-sampadā is preparing us for. So when we have this vosaggarata, we are even giving up the compliment, the acknowledgement. The person may be telling us or maybe not telling us. We don't want that too. We just gave up, means we gave up. We gave up the object, we gave up the thoughts, we also gave up their compliments, acknowledgements at that point. But of course, when you support many people, they will say, they will give you a lot of thanks. They will be very grateful to you. I think this will happen from only handful of people. So don't worry about it. Not everyone is same in this society. Okay, so with that, we are going to transfer the good karmas at this point. Today we've been discussing about what do you call cāga-sampadā. Now cāga-sampadā means that every layperson must prepare oneself with regard to dana, cāga together, a holistic perspective with regard to their generosity. As we discussed earlier, the Buddha said with regard to with regard to cāga, one must fulfill 6 activities in order to become a cāga. Vigatamana Macheran Chetasa, Mutta Chagu, Paitapani, Vasagaratu, Yachayogu, Dana Sangnibana. All these must be complete as much as possible for us to get into what you call cāga-sampadā. So we are going to discuss Paññā-sampadā next Friday. So may all the good karmas which we've been making today by learning about cāga-sampadā as given in the Dīghajāṇu Sutta be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May all our departed loved ones attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idang me ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayu. Idang me ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayu. Idang me ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayu. Then may Devanaga Mahitika also receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and happiness. May they also bless and inspire us for our Dhamma journeys. May our Dhamma journeys become seamless, continuous, consistent Dhamma journeys. May they finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu sāsanang. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang parang chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. Next we are going to make our Dhamma wish. This is the Dhamma wish we've been making every single Sutta discussion day. May all the good karmas support us to be surrounded with Kalyana Mittas. May we become Kalyana Mittas to as many sentient beings as we meet in our samsaric life till we attain Nibbana. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavadimbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddha pacha ino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha atu nibbana sampatti iminati samichyatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With those blessings, our Sutta discussions comes to an end today. And we'll be seeing you next Friday at the same time, 8:30 for the Paññā-sampadā. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, Bhante.
Bye,
Sadhu.
Good night,
Bhante.
Bhante. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Saranam,
Thank you, Bhante.
Tushai.
Sadhu,
Bye,
sadhu,
Bhante.
See you all
sadhu.
next week, brother and sister.
Bhante.
See you all.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good
Good
night.
Take
night.
care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sadhu,
you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank you.
Good day.
Yeah.